Hello, and welcome to Chapter 3 of our Stranger Things commentary.
Holly Jolly. Oh, poor Barb.
It's not a hot look.
No, that's not Holly or Jolly.
We've all been there, right, folks? Morning after? Yeah.
The worst part is she's barefoot and she's walking on that shit.
Now this is all, oh.
Meanwhile, she's getting the fuck.
It's kind of the reverse 80s, though, because normally the 80s, it's like the girl who has sex is the one that dies.
I know, right?
And the virgin lives. So here, kids, let that be a lesson to you. Make sure you have lots and lots of premarital sex.
Oh my god.
Or the monsters will get you.
See, I think the worst part is that, like, she knows it happened, like, later on after the, she discovers what it is. She's like, oh, while I was getting boned, Barb fucking died. She was attacked by this. So, like, it's actually kind of a horrible thing for Nancy, because she has to live with it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and Barb never got any.
I know, poor Barb.
I know. Poor Barb. It's funny, though. She's gotten so much love since.
I know.
And I'm wondering if...
I mean, technically, they aren't even boning yet. They're just dry humping right now.
Well, so technically, her first time isn't sullied. Because he's not in her yet.
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 Was the keyword.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen.
Now that she's dead, it's not morally reprehensible for him to enter her.
Oh, wow.
That's the rule. I'm fairly certain of this. I might be just making that up.
And we're not skipping, by the way.
No, we're not skipping the intro. Like, if you're watching this, you see the little skip intro. It's like, fuck that. And fuck you if you skip it.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's so simple.
I know we say it every time, but it's so good.
I know. I know. I don't know why. I'm sure there's people out there going, what the fuck? It's just the damn letters, but...
It's the music, really.
It really is the music. There's a guy on YouTube who does covers of songs, and he does a great cover of this one. I'm going to try to look him up right now, because his name does not come to mind, because I'm terrible with names. But I will look him up right now and tell you, so then you can go and subscribe. But no, I love the music. It's so simple. It has a very haunting 331 E-Rock. He's on YouTube. Check him out. He has a great cover of the Stranger Things opening theme. Again, that name is 331 E-Rock. And that is the letter E, then the word
She's
rock.
like, what did I do? I forget, how old is Nancy supposed to be?
I'd imagine
like 15-ish?
She's probably like, I'd probably say more 16. I don't know. I mean, the actress she said is
well,
like,
she
what?
can drive, so yeah, she has to be at least 16.
Well, unless she had a permit. But we're going to say 16. Now, you said the actress is 20?
20 now, yeah.
So she would probably...
I don't know, she was probably 19 when she were
18, 19 when she were, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think, honestly, yeah, she would have to be a legal age, because I know when it comes to shooting, not just sex...
Well, she has to be over 18 for sure, yeah.
Well, not just sex scenes, but any kind of, like...
Suggestive.
Really intimate. Anything beyond, like, kissing. I know there's all these rules. If you watch the... or listen to the commentary for Superbad, of all movies, they talk about the whole scene with McLovin when he's, with the girl, and if you watch him in that scene, he's barely moving. He can't thrust or anything, because technically too much hip movement would be considered, he can't do it.
That movie came out, like, almost 10 years ago.
I know,
so
but I'm just saying,
like,
like, because he was 17 when he shot it, he was not allowed to do certain movements. So basically, he's just lying on the girl. And, like, but yeah, for scenes like this, they usually get the actors to be of legal age, so they don't have to worry about that. So yeah, she would have at least been 18. I love how the mom was already like, yeah, what you been up to? Steve's. No, we just fuck.
Like,
and
that excuse ever worked for somebody or anybody.
And he was cold, so he barred my vagina. What? God. Was he that bad?
Which means everything happened. Look at your face, girl.
That or he just fucking sucked. Nothing happened, okay? I'm pretty sure I still count as a virgin after that shit. No, but yeah, it is kind of an interesting role reversal. Because again, like I said, usually in the 80s, in these movies, it became like the running gag, like, you know, if you have a girl and she has sex, she's sullied, and therefore, you know, Jason Voorhees comes and swings with a machete, takes her head off. But the girl that survives is usually a virgin because she's pure of heart. So it really kind of perpetrated kind of these puritanical notions of sex and sexuality. So the movies back then were kind of an interesting window to that kind of, you know, way of thinking, if you will. So I thought it was kind of cool here that, you know, even though this is very much an homage to kind of 80s films, it's like, it's also kind of breaking the mold, if you will, in terms of certain kind of staples. Even though I feel the movies, this is kind of borrowing heavily from, weren't as much, you know, adhering to those kind of mandates. That was really more kind of the slasher film kind of thing, like the Halloweens, the Friday the 13th, that kind of thing. Just watch. So I'm still trying to figure out. So Will is in the upside down version of this house. So when she's saying that, is he like in the upside version, like turning on the light?
I think so.
Is that what it means? Because obviously he's not like some kind of energy. He's not like a ghost where he's like haunting.
Because everything that's in the upside down is the same as here.
Right. So again,
so I think it's like either he's touching it or turning it on. He's
and
interacting in some
it's
way.
a little bit of it's resonating on our side.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, these two are so good together. They really, it's gonna sound like a strange compliment, but they really encapsulate a broken family very well. Like you really feel for these two people. Like, obviously everyone's feeling it, everyone's worried, but because it's their family, you can really see because they're basically at ground zero. Everyone else is kind of orbiting the issue. These two are like right there in the thick of it. So you really just see how anguished they are essentially. I love how they're like making plans and strategize. Look at that! Look at that! Getting all the gear. Back when kids could like have a knife like that, like they would get away with having it.
It's different.
It blinded. Like I like how he says something really intelligent. Like, dude, it's not real. It's just a game. And then he follows up, but if there is something out there, we're gonna shoot it in the eye. It's like he goes from being like the voice of reason to like, you know, the 12-year-old kid that he is, like in a moment's notice. So I'm trying to think, is that the original toy? Because I know the Millennium Falcon toy, the original one, like back 80s, was like a big deal, and like everyone said they knew someone who apparently had one, yet no one ever, you know, saw it ever. So I'm just like, how the hell do these kids have it? That was like,
Alright.
That and the Death Star, that was another one of those mythological toys that we all heard about, but no one ever had one. But again, everyone knew someone that did. Yep, we never got to go to those people's houses. So funny, we're watching now, at the time of this recording, there are commercial trailers for season 2. And the most recent one just dropped, the final trailer, and she has like this cool, like curly... That's what her hair reminds me of. Ripley from Aliens.
I was thinking it looked like Ripley's hair.
This from the second film. Yep. It totally
I'm
gave
sure
her
that
this.
was not a mistake.
No, I know. Well, I see some of the promotional stuff where it
Oh
has
my
like,
god, like it's the hussy Nancy.
yeah, they just haters.
Oh, you're all sluts. That was my terrible
Tokyo word.
voice. Oh, that was supposed to be. Oh yeah, it was Tokyo, wasn't it?
Oh, just what I need. More sluts.
And it's funny. Cause freaking Steve, he's got like a mullet in the trailers now too. I don't know if you noticed that.
Well, he's getting the bigger '80s hair, the
Yeah.
more like disheveled. And it's kind of funny here too. Like a lot of times in these movies where it's the girl like the day after is like, oh, you
Yeah.
know, hey, that was great, and the guy's all like, yeah, whatever, you know, I don't care now.
Non-committal.
Yeah, now that I got what I wanted out of you, it's I think it's interesting
Look
again
at that trapper keeper.
But again, I like how it's the guy that's all like, hey, you know, wasn't that great? He's the one.
Well, to be fair, he was kind of a douche and was like asleep on her, and she left.
Hey, put in a good night's work, you get tired.
A lot of dry humping tires you out.
Well, as long as it doesn't end dry.
This is true.
Nevermore.
Mm.
Edgar Allan Poe. You want to talk about a guy with a depressing life? No, it's yeah. I'm just wondering though, because of the popularity of that character, if somehow they're gonna. What they'll probably do, honestly, is do flashbacks.
I was gonna say they even said for sure. I thought that she wasn't gonna be able to come back.
Well, she's fucking dead. Like,
Yeah.
spoilers, folks. But again, because she's become such a popular character, just so you know, fans can see her again, they might just do a few flashback shot, you know,
Yeah.
just to get the actress back. We have the big, super duper secret government facility. It's so funny, because I am a product of my time, like, when I sometimes see big, kind of officey looking buildings or whatnot, I always make the joke of saying it's like some kind of government lab, you know, just as a joke. I don't actually think that. Well, for all I know, it could be, but you know, and it comes from this time where as a kid we always just assumed like, oh, look at that big building, you know, oh, it's probably a secret place, a secret facility. We all had that kind of, because again we had that distrust of the government, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That for us it was like, I love that.
No, she makes it fly, and then she loses.
Just draw. That shit's expensive, lady. Like, come on.
Got a kitty cat here.
Here's my hero. Here, Ryo Oki, adding to our
Join
commentary.
in.
Yeah, weighing in. What do you think, Ryo Oki? Yeah.
I think she wants to cuddle with us while we watch.
She loves that chair.
I wish I had a lazy boy chair.
I know, right? I'm in my 30s. I've earned the right to have a chair.
To have the lazy
To
boy.
have the chair.
the
like,
mythical lazy boy. Which only
so I can like
fathers
scream at my
have.
kids like don't sit in my chair. I can't wait to be that guy. This might seem like a strange comparison since she's an underage girl here, but yeah, get it, Masters of the Universe. Oh, but it reminds me of the scene in Species a little bit when Syl is in the hotel room and she's going through the channels, and this is kind of her first, because like 11, she was locked away in a government facility.
Yeah.
So for her, you know, once she watches TV, it's kind of her first introduction to kind of like the world, really, when she watches TV. It's a nifty hat. This was a cool scene. Squiggly lines on paper means serious stuff. Oh shit! You should see what she does with a Pepsi can. So here it's kind of being heavily indicated that, or implied, I should say, that she's obviously being not just tested, but perhaps trained. Because obviously, what would be the benefit of her being able to cause damage to something just using her mind?
Yeah.
So it's not a huge leap to kind of think, okay, clearly they not only were testing her, but they had a clear purpose for her in mind. There was an end, there was a goal that they were trying to reach.
Also random, but the fact that I don't know how many people nowadays remember having TVs like that.
I do.
I never had a TV like that, but my grandfather did. Those big old like wooden outside TVs.
Yeah.
You had to go up and man.
Hey man, in the '80s, everything had wood paneling on it.
Yeah.
Like wood was a hot look. It's just so funny. You take something
There's
as
the puppy.
there's the puppers.
I think it's the first time we see it since.
I can't remember, haven't I? Yeah. But it's cool when they take movies like that when you use like something as very simple and everyday, and it becomes used to indicate something else.
No.
Just Christmas lights, something as simple as that, and yet now when people see Christmas lights, sometimes a lot of times people go, "Hey, it's like Stranger Things."
Yeah.
I love that statement. See, you laugh, but that was the kind of shit people thought about back then. You know what I mean? It's like, I kind of wish the government had been up to more stuff because life would have been so much cooler. We were all convinced they had lasers and monsters in basements and, robots. I love this part right here. Now, see, it's one of those moments where, like, okay, realistically speaking, what as high level security as they are, would they have made an oversight like that? Like,
I
okay,
know.
we're gonna make fake tapes, but if these tapes are gonna fly, we have to make sure they're perfect
They
down to the
match up,
detail.
yeah.
So let's say, okay, this has to be a fake tape that represents a specific date and time. Well, let's
Well,
look
as
at
it
that
is-
date and time to see what it was like, so we can make sure it matches up. So,
Yeah.
Or
I was
is it
gonna
one-
say, shouldn't they also like usually those kind of security tapes have the date and time, somewhere on the screen, which that one obviously didn't. So it's kind of like,
well, they could alter it though.
wow, but they didn't even bother for
Well.
those, obviously.
Or you could look at it that they're so like confident and they're so focused. They kind of have the thing. We can so easily fool them that they inadvertently overlook something as simple as like, hey, what was the weather like that night? We should at least check to make sure that oh, it was raining and yet we have no rain on our tape. So you could make the argument either way. Like, okay, how anal they are about security. You would think they would match everything up to the night perfectly just to make sure.
Yeah.
Or you could do the flip side where it's like it's a kind of a minor thing, and because of they were so proud of themselves for being able to kind of create this false tape that they kind of inadvertently, like I said, overlooked a detail because they were so confident in their ability to fool people that they just got overconfident and missed something. So you kind of look at it either way.
Mm-hmm.
I think realistically, I hate to say it, probably would be the former. I think they would have. The first thing they would have done is looked at the night in question, and then been like, okay, the rain. Make sure we have rain in our tape, but whatever. and makes for a more interesting story this way. Yeah, I didn't like the song either. This is the sister's room, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of interesting for her. This is kind of...
Another girl. How
Yeah.
she lived.
Yeah, another youngish girl. Kind of... You know, kind of seeing how they're supposed to kind of be, essentially. Like, she's realizing just how different her up... Yeah. But again, realizing just how different her life was. How not normal her life was. You know, when you see, like, look at this girl, nothing but happy memories, and her memories are just filled with just fear and pain and, you know.
Yeah. Get your nasty foot off the table, girl.
God, it's just funny. These two are, like, so despicable. But I've known people like this. I'm just like, God, how did you get this way? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or she's motherfucking dead.
It's gonna sound really, really weird, but something about his hair, not his hair, but Will's older brother, reminds me of I forget his name, but the Chucky's kid in a Seed of Chucky. I don't know why, but he's really pale. He kind of has that really kind of straight, disheveled hair. I think it's raining in this shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see it. You know these two are gonna get it. Again, in... Oh.
Yikes.
Get him. Get him. Come on, get him. It's like, you know you're gonna get an ass whooping, but it's like, it's worth it. I would have just fucking beamed him in the back of the head with that rock.
Right.
I've done it before and I got my ass kicked for it as a kid, but it was so worth it. This part I love. It's so creepy. When you kind of get a look at the Demogorgon in these foot. I think that seeing it in this way, it's going to be creepier than when the shots we've seen it in thus far.
Yeah.
You're almost calling more attention to it when you do it that way.
I know. It's so funny. Again, do kids even do, like, darkroom photography?
Well,
like this
no,
now?
everything's digital now.
I was gonna say, I did that in high school, but I'm like, I feel like I probably was some of the last.
Probably.
Maybe they might do it that way still as, like, a special thing.
It might be, but it's more of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's more, I don't know.
Like an elective?
Yeah, no, I mean, like,
specialty elective?
the act of, like, taking that kind of photography. I mean, I think it's, like, some people still do black and white photography. It's more, like an artistic choice kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's not really because all, like, you know, modern photography, again, everything's digital now. That's how everything's done. You shoot, film, digital. You don't... I mean, there's still some people who do shoot things on film, but... When people say we're filming stuff, or we get to film,
yeah.
it's not film anymore. It's all digital. Like, for instance, this is not shot on film. This is shot digitally.
Mm-hmm.
it's actually more expensive in a lot of ways now to shoot on film because when you shoot something digitally, you can edit it really easily. It's all digital. You can copy, paste, cut. When you use film, you have to physically cut it. You have to take scissors and paste and glue things together. Yep.
Poor Hopper.
Remember those? Some of you probably don't.
I remember that when I was even young when we used
God,
those.
that was a pain in the ass having to look through that. Hell, remember libraries?
I know.
Never mind those.
I remember it was such a big deal when all of the library catalog went fucking digital.
Yep, I remember that. Everyone freaked out. I was like, why? Are you kidding me? It's going to be way easier.
I know.
The good old days. I'd do book reports and you'd have to look up old papers and stuff like that. That's how you used to do it before.
You're only allowed one internet source. You had to have all book sources.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, why? We only have one internet source. Like, why? Let's use a dying medium. But before the internet, yeah, this is how you have to do it. If you didn't find it in a book, you would have to use the macrofiche or whatever it was, these old papers like this. Made doing research papers and book reports much more difficult.
Don't miss that, that's for sure.
No, no, no. Nowadays, you would have those all open up on tabs on your browser. I think I've already said it probably, but Winona Ryder still looks really good.
Oh,
and
I know.
And they kind of, made her look a little bit rough around the edges here, for her character, but she still looks good. I don't know. I've always loved Winona Ryder. Seems like she always kind of comes and goes in terms of popularity or kind of.
This little girl's adorable, by the way.
I know.
Not in a creepy way, but usually little kids are kind of yeah, but she's adorable.
She should play Chibi Moon.
Oh my gosh, right?
That's funny. It's the only time in the movie where she's not looking,
Scared.
Yeah, not even scared, but having a panic attack. When she's at the dinner table, she's always like. She is adorbs. She's like, the fuck is going on in here?
Thank God she's not epileptic.
So what's Will doing right here? Is he running around to all these lights? How is he getting them on so fast?
I'm not sure. See, that's the thing. I don't think he always has to be touching the exact one. It might just be him in the area. I'm not.
And
exactly
it's
sure.
reacting to. Okay, that would make more sense. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how fast is he moving?
He's just running in circles really fast.
I know. I was like, damn.
Also, I just gotta say, Joyce, is that what she said her name was?
Yeah.
Joyce is totally a MILF. She's a hot mom.
Oh, I know. I was looking at her too.
Damn.
I know. Look, that's the mom. Shit. Explain where the daughter gets it from. Holy hell! Wow. Who's the hottest person in the show? The mom. Jeez. Her and Winona Ryder in the same scene. Shit. I'm done. Freaking! Let me come over for that casserole. Holy hell. And that big hair is still a battle of the bands. I love when they used to make those little shitty homemade posters.
Now that you brought to my attention that my daughter's probably missing, let me know if you find her.
Yeah. See, if I was her, though, the redhead girl, like, I wouldn't be messing with, like, the brother of, like, the kid that's messing.
Mm-hmm. To be fair, why the fuck were you getting undressed in front of a window that's open? I know you're in the middle of the woods, but still.
It's a good shot, though.
I still have the negatives. I can make more. The worst part is, those are expensive. I'm just like,
I know.
and for somebody, like, it's gonna sound so bad, but clearly it's supposed to be like his family isn't like super rich.
Yeah.
So, like, something like that is a big deal. Like, that was probably a big gift, or he saved it up working.
Yeah.
Or saved up for working. So, yeah, like, that's sucky.
Well, that's basically like, I don't know. Well, it's kind of like having, like, really expensive editing software now.
Yeah.
Like, when you can, like, or, every person who has kind of like a creative hobby has some kind of tool, that goes along with it. And, like, the better the tool, the better the results. Like, he's got a really
But
good...
even still, those cameras are worth like $500-$600 now. So imagine what they were worth.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, the better the camera, obviously the better the photograph. For instance,
Yeah.
you're an artist, so when you use like Photoshop or Manga Studio, the better, and for instance, you have a really nice Cintiq, the better the tablet, the easier, the better the results. Well, again, at the end of the day,
At the end of the day, yeah, you still have to know how to draw.
Oh yeah, well, same thing here. You still have to be a good photographer, but again, you still have to,
Yeah.
you still have, it pays to have, top of the line equipment. So yeah, no, sucks that they dropped this camera. Hey, it's like our cat when we used to pick her up,
Before she became nice.
or ish.
Nicer. Poor kitty cat.
So obviously, yeah, they're trying to train her how to basically be a killer with her mind.
Mm-hmm.
During the Cold War, gee, I wonder why that could be. God, it's just so terrible. I'm wondering, did she call him Papa? Did she choose to, or that is something he started?
I don't know.
It's almost more perverse if it's him.
Where else would she get the name?
Because he's warping the sense of what that is. I love this part. Nope.
Look, I'm not gonna hurt the cat, but fuck you guys.
Well, it's just funny because, again, they're showing you, like, no, oh, she would never kill... No, she killed people.
Mm.
And I love the fact that she's not tortured by it.
Yeah.
She remembers she was tortured by the memory of someone trying to force her to kill the cat. But the two humans she killed right after, fuck them. Like, and I love that. I love the fact that I think, oh, even though they were bad, they were still humans. Therefore, it was wrong to take their life. No. Being human does not get you a get-out-jail-free card.
This is the worst part. He's like, oh, good girl, you murdered
Well, yeah,
her.
he's conditioning her. He's rewarding her. All she wants is affection. All she wants is to be loved like any child. And the only time she gets that is when she, commits, terrible acts of violence. So essentially, the only way she can be loved is if she, does not act like a girl. So again, when she was in What's-Her-Face's room, it's like, wow, here's a girl who's loved for being a little girl, or being a girl, you know what I mean? When I try to be a girl, I'm punished for it. When I act like a normal person, I'm reprimanded for it. But no, I love the fact that she doesn't, Basically, she's like, you get what you deserve. If you're good to me, I'll be good to you. If you suck, I'm gonna fucking kill you. And I love that about her. I'm glad they're not doing the whole, like, she's tortured by the lives she took kind of thing, because I feel that's kind of cliche and...
I don't even think she could... Not that she couldn't, like, understand that, you know what I mean? But, like, it just wouldn't make sense.
Well, because it's the way she grew up, she kind of grew up in a more black and white environment in the sense it's like, well, listen, it's nothing personal, but, you know, I need to protect myself. You don't want me to snap your neck with my mind powers? Don't be a dick to me. She's not going out of her way to do it. You know, it is, you know, it's a consequence of what's being done to her. It's like you can have the nicest dog in the world, but if you keep smacking it and hitting it and hitting it, eventually it probably will snap and bite you. You know what I mean? You have to go out of your way to make it do that, though. Same thing with her. She wouldn't just do that. Like, look at what's that big guy in the diner when he caught her eating the food. He grabbed her and she could have snapped his neck right there, but she didn't because, you know, she was able to kind of discern, you know, kind of good intention from bad intention. She was scared, but within the context, she understood that from the man's perspective, you know, what she was doing, how it might have looked. So she understood, and I think that's a key factor to take note of when you watch this story. When you watch her, is that, you know, she could easily kill indiscriminately, but she doesn't, and that's what I think is interesting about her.
Mouth breather.
I love how chill she is.
I know.
Like with all the things she's been through, she's not like weird and awkward. She's cool. I like how she's just super chill. Like she's like the coolest one out of all these guys. Like because girls that age are always cooler than boys. So I love, even though she was like raised the way she was, she's still the coolest one there. Something is amiss.
You really think she'd just be hanging out outside of her car?
She hopes she would still be hanging outside of her car.
I know. Let's trespass.
That is a big ass fence. Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. That's a big ass barn house.
That or she's a tiny girl. Good God.
Possible.
That is a big house, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well.
Scary.
So there's the dog again.
I know. I guess I just don't remember seeing him much before, but I didn't probably really notice the dog a whole lot.
Again, he looks just like the dog from Gremlins, and it was the same dog they used in Pumpkinhead. So I'm sure, I forget the dog's name, but I'm sure they picked the breed as an homage to that dog.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny with all the Christmas lights things they do here. They could have easily have released this movie, or this. I keep saying movie, this series around Christmas time.
Yeah.
I mean, as a whole, I like it better like in October. I guess it came out though September. But I like.
No, it came out. It was August, I think.
Was it? Oh wow, it was really early.
It was like middle or to late August, I believe. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's definitely a more Halloween-y kind of show. But if they wanted to, they could have easily have put this, I think, in December too, just because of the whole like Christmas light motif they have going on. See, there's something both really sweet and sad about this.
Yeah.
Like, you really feel bad for her because that light she's clutching is literally her hope. It's like her hope is in her hands.
Yeah.
And when it lights up, it's like, it's her hope. And there's something so kind of sweet. And I like when they can kind of create something tactile to kind of represent something that normally you wouldn't see. Yeah, no. Winona Ryder kills it in this.
Mm.
And again, I love the length she goes through to kind of establish communication with Will. It's so counterintuitive, like the way they end up doing it would not be the normal way you would think they would go about it. Yet it ends up working so brilliantly. It makes her look like a complete loon, but
Yeah.
you know, once you realize that she's in fact not crazy and this is all for real, you realize just how brilliant she actually is. And it's just funny how kind of insanity and, you know, genius kind of coincide with one another. Yeah, she's a MILF.
Yep.
I love that hair, though. God, I wish that hair would come back.
My mom has that hair. It's just not as long. I've been trying to get her to change her haircut for the past, 15 years. And she's like, I just don't know what else to do with
Well,
it.
tell her not to, because it's probably going to come back now.
She's had the same hair since the 70s.
Yeah, but
I
now
don't
that it's
think
going to
she's
be
gonna
popular,
change it.
because again, this is like early '80s hair, not late '80s hair. If it was late '80s hair, it would be more permed out, more curly
Yeah.
and frizzy. Still, seems like now this time period, you know, a lot of the aesthetics are coming back to popularity. So
Yeah.
I don't know, give it another year or two, and your mom will be on the cutting edge of fashion. I'll be teasing my hair up. I love that. I'm not saying there's some grand conspiracy, but that's exactly what it is, a grand conspiracy. And I love that because that's so 80s, where yes, there is a conspiracy. Yes, the government really is up to something. Yes, your worst fears are confirmed. Dusk was always the worst time to shoot. I remember in college when we would shoot, it was like, oh, it was the worst. It was better to be night because then you knew how to light it.
Yeah.
When it's that low light, and because honestly, you know what makes dusk the worst? It's not that it's in between light; it's that the light is constantly changing. That's why dusk and dawn are the worst times to film because the light is never consistent. It's either getting brighter, constantly getting dimmer. So you're constantly have to adjust your lighting. Uh-oh. To the bikes. Man, having a bike as a kid, that was like, that was basically, you know, a car before a car.
Right.
That's basically when you got a car, that was like the next day. It was like you graduating, basically. Prior to that, everyone had a bike. The car was, you know, bike was freedom. It was wheels, man. That was, it was ability just to hop on and go. It's like almost like a weird Ouija board.
I know.
That's so cool.
I know. Also fucking terrifying.
I know. That'd be a great effect to do like a haunted house, where you kind of make the walls that kind of like, I don't know, almost like.
I've seen people where it's like they make it like fabric, but they keep it taut, but it's like a spandex, so they can push through it.
Yeah.
Without it like obviously ripping.
So you look at it like it's a, you know.
Yeah.
No, that's cool though. I love that effect. See, I can't tell if that was 100% digital or some of that was practical.
I think it was mostly digital. I might have been some practical initially.
Maybe the initial push out might have been practical.
Yeah, but once it broke through, I'm thinking it was all digital.
Unless they did as a composite shot where they shot the practical like pushing out in a different, you know, spot and then set it in over the wall digitally in post. Now we have a moment coming up where I think in most normal shows it would be the end of one mystery, but in Stranger Things it is essentially a deepening of an already existing one, which I like. Obviously there's still more going on elsewhere, but I think it's implying like, well, now we know what happened to Will, but it's actually, you know what I mean? Because again, we just saw what was happening with his mom. So obviously now it's like, okay, well, how can he be communicating with her if he's dead right there? So now it's like, okay, what's what? Is that really him? Or is, something else going on? Poor 11. Like, you feel bad because she's so confused. She doesn't know how to deal with it or communicate. She's so literal that.
I like how she just ran, by the way, and didn't, like, drive off.
Oh, shit. Did you see what was in there?
I know.
Sure, I'm not really thinking about it. It's funny. This almost feels like a season finale.
I know.
And it's only episode 3. But it just tells you there's so much more to come. You know what I mean? I know. I love the way this is all done. You can see the cop car is way in the end. Well, there you have it, folks. Chapter 3. We'll catch you guys on the next one for Chapter 4. So stay tuned and be back with us. Peace.
Peace.